Have you ever asked yourself the question, how do I hire the right person? It is so difficult in today's generation, especially in this digital landscape. It seems like hiring someone is like shooting in the dark and hoping that you hit the target the right way, because we all know time is money and we are wasting so much time and so much money trying to find the right people. How do you do this? How do you do it the right way? In this session, we're going to help you navigate through this very sensitive topic and hopefully learn something. Stay tuned. It's going to be a great session. How do you hire the right people? Like, how do you hire somebody? We're going to talk about that today, right?
Yes. And the next part's going to be, how do you fire someone?
So stay tuned. It's going to get juicy. It's going to get really juicy. As my wife says, give me the tea. We're not going to give you all of the tea because, we don't want to expose too many things, but we will share some stories.
Yes, for sure.
Because it's important, to be relevant and be real. We want to share what kind of things that we've gone through, and maybe this will help you. Maybe this will, give you some wisdom to maybe not commit the same things that we committed, but also maybe to help you really thrive in your company. So we're going to be talking about how to hire someone today, and then the next session, please check it out, how to fire someone. So the first question, I'm going to kind of do a little bit of interview. So this is kind of just get ready for some of the, we'll ask these questions, but as you are the operations manager, this is your role. I mean, you're the architect for everything operational, and this is a very serious topic.
Yeah.
Why is the subject of hiring someone so important?
Because the person that you're gonna invite for your team, you're gonna be investing your time, your resources, your talent, your investment. So this is a essential matter, essential decision that you have to make every time they're inviting someone for your team, even more for your core team.
Oh yeah, hands down. And we kind of laughed when we were talking about this topic when we were getting ready for this recording. We were laughing because we've kind of had some issues, you and I, in the past when it comes to hiring. Yep. And I'll do a double cam there so we can both see our emotions here. I'm doing that, I'm the producer here, so I got my little switch here. So I'll show both of our faces to talk about this topic. In the beginning, it was a bit of a challenge, right?
It was tough.
I mean, I hope I've gotten a little better, right?
Oh, definitely. Now you're not in the middle of this conversation anymore. That's a lot of trouble.
But obviously there'll be times, I'm trying to learn as an entrepreneur, as a person, but why, let me kind of give you guys some background, a little context of this, is because Humify started really to provide opportunity and jobs for people. But the problem is I kind of crossed a line where we wanted to provide jobs to all people, but not all people are qualified.
Exactly.
And this is something that I've learned, and we're going to get into the first topic, or the first question is, does performance matter? So within this question, this is something that I kind of overlooked. I kind of overlooked the performance part because I was trying to help someone out, and it ended up blowing up in my face. We'll kind of go a little bit deeper into that, but I want to ask you that question. It's like, does performance matter when hiring somebody, and how important is performance?
Yes, it definitely matters, and it is super important, but it's not the only factor that you have to have in mind, even more when putting the numbers at the table and make the equation, okay, make the decision. Am I going to invite this person to be part of my team or not? Besides performance, qualities, skills, you have to validate a character.
Yeah.
So you have to validate in somehow, not just the hard skills, but the soft skills.
That's so good.
And make sure that the person, and depends, we know through a recruiting process, a vetting process, depend of how familiar you are with that person.
Yeah.
That does not mean that you know the person in totality, everything. No.
So good, so good.
Usually you're just meeting out this person first time. You're just doing the first interview. But if you have not just the scope of work, but if you have the list with the values, the things according to your role that is for you are unnegotiable, that's are the things that you should fix your eyes or fix your attention and look for someone that will achieve as practical as it is. You're gonna check the most of the boxes from both sides. Yeah. Hard skills and soft skills as well.
And that's so good because, and you touched on something I think is so important. We were talking about hard skills, soft skills, because here at Humify, it's something we We really try. Like, we're not perfect at it, but like it's part of the essence of our company, right? We're really trying to really provide a lot of value to our remote workers, and really help our customers understand, like, we're with you, right? We're your HR department. We're here to help you. But one thing that I learned with this is like, this was my fault really in the beginning stages of the company. It was like I was really focused on the soft skills.
Yep.
That I didn't really focus so much on the hard skills. Or no, sorry, I focused a lot on the hard skills because I was like, oh, they're really good at what they do. And then when you would come and say, well, they're lacking in character, they're lacking in integrity. Not that I couldn't see that, but maybe I was so focused on like either trying to get them a job, or I saw their portfolio, and we don't know. Maybe that was a past portfolio. Maybe they were really good in the beginning, but some things happen. So like I was kind of overlooking that soft skills that sometimes is not maybe the most important for people. But you would always say, Ryan, like, they're not good at communication, or they lack in these areas of character. And for me, it was something that I really had to like just hand over and say, you know what? Like this balance between hard skills and soft skills is so important. Performance is important, but it's like 50-50, as you were saying, right? It's 50-50 because they could be really good at what they do, but if they're not teachable, right? If they're not humble, if they're just like, if they're like these, we say in English, like prima donnas, like these people that are like, oh, it's all about me, like I'm the center of the universe. It's really hard. And so I think this is something that we've looked at both. If like performance isn't everything, not everything matters, but at the same time, you have to be looking at through the focal lens, or to the lens of, okay, how balanced can we be with this? Bia, how do you discover the balance? How can you, hey, that's a really heavy question, but how do you do that?
It's tricky. I believe you get more maturity, confidence as you go deeper in doing these and passing, committing some mistakes, and learn from the mistakes that you committed. And first of all, have a right structure. The past episodes that we discussed a little bit about what are the do's and don'ts that you have to have, and even more in the beginning phase on your company. And we always talk about structure. Structure helps you to keep you still for all the seasons that you pass through, but as well to keep you studying to achieve the goals that you want to get. And in this case, when you talk about people, time will tell.
That's good.
We as Christians, that is something that validated us, and Jesus taught us about, okay, you see the type of the tree by proving the type of the fruit that trees produce.
That's so good.
And not just any type of tree. The Bible specifies what type of fruit, or not just any type of fruit. The Bible specifies what type of fruit. Good fruit.
Good fruit. Come on.
And fruit that lasts.
Oof.
Because sometimes we see that. People in the beginning, they're excited. They are willing to give, to take, to put it in more than 100%. But as the time progresses and things, you started to go with consistency in the challenge, the change, the adjustments, and the fragilities of your company, your business, they start to see also your mistakes, your point of weakness. That's the moment that we truly validate someone. Of course, in the beginning phase, have a systematic list with hard and soft skills that help you to invite someone for your team and be practical with the decision. One thing very important, I don't know, it would be a gold tip right now for the CEO's levels. If you are the one dealing or taking the shots in the beginning, that's fine. But as the time progresses and you have someone with you, try to be not you having the first contact with this person.
That's so good.
Have someone to be this first door, and then you are the one like position yourself with the decision. But these first hires, even more for the core team, doesn't have access to you directly. So like to break down the information that I just shared, pretty much time will tell, prove the fruit, and then have someone, and even more if a CEO, to be a barrier or filter before you make this decision.
That's really solid. I mean, those are wise words, obviously from experience. Bia, she's really helped us develop really solid systems because we're a staffing agency. We have to have these in play. And so we believe that we have some knowledge to give people with businesses because we're dealing with hiring people all day long. We're always with recruiting and finding the right people and people that look incredible on paper. But when you get on the phone call, it's like completely different. It's like almost like you got catfished. I don't know if you know that, but like that, there's a TV show called Catfish in the United States. And it's like, it's not who you expected. It's someone completely different. You're like, who is this person? We deal with that every day. And this really kind of flows in, and I really love that, like at the end, you were kind of talking about that filter, about really creating that filter between, the owner of the company. If you don't have that, opportunity yet, hey, maybe one day we can use it as a service. I don't know. Maybe there's a new product there. we can do we can help you with hiring people. But the thing is one thing that she's so right, because that kind of that rule or that filter really protects, I would say for me, it really protects me and my relationships, because again, I'm always networking with people. I have a lot of friends. I had a lot of acquaintances. And like when I'm in conversation, like people are like, what do you do? Oh, I have a staffing agency. Oh, cool. Well, my cousin, like there it is. Like, well, my cousin's looking for a job. I'm like, this is always the conversation I have with people. Oh, my friend's looking for a job. And so I've had some funny stories. I've had people,
bars, right?
I've had people like when I'm literally eating at the table, like call and had like a FaceTime interview with these people. I'm like, oh my goodness, like it's the most awkward thing. But like, that's my heart. Like I want to provide jobs for people. But the problem that I ran into was like, they would go straight to me. And the moment that you get in friend zone, it's over. I always say it's like the moment, and we'll talk about like communication, right? But like, oh my goodness, I remember that feeling. I almost like couldn't sleep at night, where it's like, I don't want to ruin a relationship. I don't want to ruin a relationship of a relationship of a relationship. So creating this boundary, I remember you having that conversation with you. You would say like, Ryan, just give it over to me. Like, let us do the first connection. Yeah. And when I did that, it was really hard, because I didn't do that. And when I didn't do that, it never worked out. And it's not like you were always very patient with me, and you weren't like, oh, I told you. I know maybe inside you were like, yeah, I told you, right. But like you would say, like, you were there to help, and the team was there to help. And I remember when I like really fully released that over, like that weight kind of was released from me, and that pressure, and even that feeling of feeling guilty at times. So I really agree with you that you really have to put those filters. And that really brings me to that second question, is like, how well do you know the person that you're hiring? And that can only happen when you have those moments where you're really putting them through the process. The processes are there to protect you as a person. So let's talk about that really quick. It's like, how well do you know them? Like, how well should you know the person that you're hiring? Like, how much is too much? How important is that? And how do you get to know people better?
Yes, pretty much like I'm like going back to the things that I said before, but times will tell. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to give the time frame to get mature in the relationship. Yeah. Maybe you have someone that because it was a past friend, someone that maybe it's for your family, but it's different when you are in different rooms. Yeah. One thing that you need to understand is what type of room that I'm in right now with this, what level of relationship I carry with this person in this room, which room? Yeah. Right now in a business room. Yeah. That is like some boundaries, some goals, targets. They're different sometimes in the ways that I have to carry my relationship with this person as a friend, as in ministry, in other areas or aspects of my life, as relative. Yeah. So I think that's important. Pass through the test of time. Yep. Pass through the test of proofs, as you said, how this person's gonna show up in the highest moments of the company business, and in the lowest moments of the company business. Yeah. And see how much the person wants to become, like each level of player the person wants to become. Wow. Because sometimes not just about us, it's about also the person show us that they want to be there. Yeah. They want to be there and grow and get personal, not just personal for personal interest, but they want to see the company, the business growth. Yeah. And that's like how you start to pace things out. Yeah. And consistency. We always say this word, because if the person is able to keep keep the basic with the same consistent excellence, but always try to prove themselves, giving the best, a little bit of the best, or increase the way that they deliver things every day, that's something that you say, okay, it's worth it for us to continue getting deep in this partnership, in this relationship, besides of just work.
Yeah, so good. And I think just to rest anyone that's watching this, to rest your hearts, is even if you do all of this right, like even if you have the best processes in play, even if you do like everything like by the book, people are people.
Yeah.
And we've run into this where we thought, like when we started with these people, like we thought it was going to be like the most incredible thing, most incredible moment, for not just for our internal company, but like for other companies that we work with. And people are people. Things happen, and sometimes you're excited, sometimes you're frustrated, sometimes you're like, man, disappointed. Like I didn't know that person was going to do that. But at the end of the day, you extend grace, right? You extend grace first, I think, to yourself because you're the one hiring. But then you extend grace, obviously, to those people. Now, you don't let people just walk all over you, but at the same time, like you have to understand life happens, things happen. So don't, if it hasn't worked out for you in the past, and it's something we always want to encourage business owners, like don't give up. That's why we have Frameworks podcast. Like it's really to help maybe these business owners really hear other stories as well. But we want to tell you guys as well, like don't give up. Like we've run into these issues. We run into these issues all of the time. And sometimes you lose money, sometimes you lose time. But just get back up, keep going. And if you obviously do need help with your hiring, hey, that's what Humify is for. Ching, little plug there. Thought I would use that moment. There we are. Here was go to a commercial. Humify commercial. No, but in all serious, we are here to help you. And so we're here to take those weight off your shoulders. But if not, if you don't want to use Humify, it's totally fine. That's why you can watch these, get this free content and learn. But we are here for you, and it's not the end of the day if it doesn't work out. So Bia, let's finish up here. We have just one more question I want to pass to you before we finish up, and I think this is really good. I think you're going to laugh at this one, is how personal do you get in this when you're hiring somebody? We've heard some really crazy stories from some people that we work with.
In the beginning phase, go with your brain, not with your heart.
The wise words, the wise words of Beatriz, and she says it again.
In the beginning phase, go with your brain, not with your heart. Why? Because you need first to test this person out. You need to let the person, this new person that is getting in contact with the new culture, the new environment of your business, everything's new, it's amazing, excited. You need to vet in this person for the process. And then as the time progresses and you're starting to prove, to taste the fruits of that person, the labor, the fruits of that labor, and you see the quality, you see the consistency, you see the eager, or maybe start to see not so good things the way they're expecting, but then you start to have more even expectations. You have a better alignment between expectations and reality. It's how you can balance it out. And even to be honest with yourself, okay, how personal can I get? Can I be with this person? What level of maturity does this person carry, not just for the business perspective and aspects, but for the personal aspects, for all the other aspects that surround this person? Because at the end of the day, we are there for the work, but we show ourselves. So I would say
and I think it's good. And because I used to not be that way. It was kind of the opposite with me. I was like, let's be super personal in the beginning, to kind of capture their heart, to make them work, feel like they can work harder and better, inspire them. But that's not always the case. Like I have seen firsthand that if you cross over to like the friend zone too quickly, not that you can't be friends with your coworkers. There's nothing wrong with that. Like it's good. Like I'm friends with Bia. We're all our families are together. We have friends of other people that work with us, and it's worked out really well. In other cases, it hasn't worked out so well. But like we've had a pretty good like history of like that. But here's the thing: is I would highly recommend people, especially with my personality, is go at it from a professional angle first. And be very like objective. And then over time, as Bia said, when they start proving themselves and the fruit starts there, that's when you can kind of really add that. Don't go full on like, okay, now we're gonna be 100% personal, but like measures, like in portions. I think that would be good. And I actually started doing that with Beacon because, as for those who know, we're developing an app, a men's app for an app for men's in the area of health, mental health. And, when I was hiring these people, like I didn't do the hiring process. Thank God I didn't do the hiring process. I learned. Someone else did it, right? But when they came and we had the first meeting, I really had to hold myself from being like super, super personal, right? And it was like a discipline that I learned from Humify. And so I kind of carried the same principles that you taught me and that I learned over time. It's like, hey, let's see the fruits. Let's get out, let's like put those objectives out. You can be friendly. Right, like you don't, just because you're not personal doesn't mean you can't be friendly, right?
You're human.
Yeah, you're be a human being. You don't need to be a robot. That's the human part. That's Humify. Another plug. Commercial. Keyword. Call to action. But that's I applied that rule, and it was really cool, because I actually been seeing that these guys, they respect me. I hope they respect me. Whoever's watching, if you're watching this, I pray. But like we have a good relationship, and they're doing an incredible job and working hard. And I don't feel like I've like violated that kind of that rule. So
yes,
I learned.
And for me, and maybe you have a different type of perspective or mindset. The thing is, when you're talking about business, what help us to have less frictions, or the things that we have to have in mind to avoid make the same mistakes, or even to have a good writer for potential risks, is to balance things out.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not about being friend of your coworker, the people that we have with you on the team. It's about for the things that when you need to get serious, it is on the same level, has the same understanding, has the same focus and eyes, and we don't miss the focus.
So good.
Because sometimes when you go to this friend zone mode, we have the tendency, because we are humans, we have the tendency to be led by our emotions and feelings, instead of the practical steps that we have to make, even more in difficult times.
So good.
So if you carry your relationship with your team using both parts, brain and heart, you're gonna make sure that you're gonna balance things out, and things gonna grow with maturity in the right roots.
Hands down. That's so good. Well, we're up for today. I want to move over into the next session. I think it's really important, because now we're going to start getting into don't get too excited, because now you're all smiles, huh?
It's not about fire. It's about to have the right moves.
Strategist.
But
thank you so much, Bia, for giving us insight into that. And you guys, as always, we want to make ourselves available. We don't really do consulting. We can do consulting. That's something that we can definitely check out if you really are interested in needing help to grow your business. Like, we're not novice at this. We've been doing this for a while now. We have helped a lot of companies structure their companies, and it's been such a wonderful journey. It's a lot of work, but that's not really what we 100% focus on. But you can definitely reach out to us if it something that you feel is really necessary. But nonetheless, we are a staffing agency. We're not trying to beat around the bush here, but we are doing this obviously to help. But we also want to put ourselves out there and say we have an incredible company that is here to help navigate these very sensitive things. And so if you are interested at all of growing your agency, maybe you have a marketing agency, maybe you're a coach and you're wanting to get a really, really solid team really solid team to help you really push your growth, reach out to us. We want to connect to you. You can talk with me. And it'll be a privilege to be able to hear you and see how we can serve you. And so thank you so much, Bia, one more time. And we'll see everyone on the next session. Have a great day, guys. Bye.